kind of changed the game tonight?
We just kept our composure. I think we brought good energy. The second unit was amazing, you know, both halves really, but especially in that third quarter, give us some life. Obviously, Kelly played, you know, arguably his best game on both ends of the floor. EP off the bench did amazing, impacting the game. Obviously, Draymond's energy, you know, guarding AD, forcing him into tough shots. And we obviously, you know, made some momentum in that second half to just give us a chance. And then very similar to the Clipper game earlier, you know, carried that momentum down the stretch, made a couple big shots, and was a big win for us considering how it started.
This game tonight kind of capped off a really tough stretch for you guys against playoff teams. What does that do for your guys' confidence, not just winning the way you guys did, but beating a team like the Lakers?
It's just a step in the right direction, but we have to be able to put a couple of these together in a row. And they're all learning lessons in terms of caliber of team that you're playing at that, you know, at the top of the West that's been established, has been there before, and, you know, good measuring stick for us. So 7-6, we're obviously, you know, in a good position, but we have to be able to put a couple of these in a row to really prove that this is who we can be and who we are. And, you know, that's the challenge in this league every night. No matter who you're playing, you got to really fight for a win.
They flipped up the rotation and had Kelly in that start of the second quarter unit. How do you think that helped you guys?
I mean, it gave him some space to obviously get off the dribble, get to the cover a couple times, you know, but defensively, obviously, he fits right into that unit where he can put pressure on the ball. They can switch a lot and just kind of cause havoc across the court. And he just brings energy. He's always done that, no matter how you talk about his shooting and all that. He always brings energy. And that was a big thing for us tonight in this particular game, considering where the lead was and the crazy swings back and forth. He made his presence felt, you know, all whatever 30-plus minutes he played.
Steph, Chris Alvarez from ABC7. Steve always talks about building an identity. So how do these wins, comebacks against two of the best teams in the league, really help you guys build an identity?
I mean, it proves we're capable, but it's also done the opposite when you kind of have a game like Denver where you don't have anything going because you're building expectations of how you're supposed to play. So you got to remember what the difference was first half to second half tonight, bottle that up, bring it against, we play the Spurs on Wednesday, and just keep plugging away. We're getting really good reps and identifying, like to your question, what it is going to take for us to win against the best teams in the league. And we got to just go out and do it.
All right, you heard from one MVP there. You're going to hear from another MVP, the Lakers MVP on the other side. Plus, we'll preview a matchup that we always love to see between Greg Popovich and Steve Kerr. That's all coming up here on Sportsnet Central Warriors Edition, presented by Toyota.
SNC Warriors Edition is presented by Toyota. Wouldn't it be nice to drive the most trusted brand in
I think we had some tough breaks, some tough calls against us in the second half that kind of slowed our pace down. You know, and it just slowed everything down. We couldn't get back into a rhythm after the game was slowed down a little bit, and they did a great job of countering that. So something we can learn from, and you know, it's always great to have games like that.
Yeah, what's the balance between frustration at a loss that you feel like you should have had, and then also kind of acknowledgement of the bigger picture for you?
Well, I mean, obviously you know, it's frustrating anytime you lose, you know, especially when you know you could have played better, and we know we could play much better. So you learn from all of that, and you know, apply it to the next game.
Bill? Hey, LeBron, you had a couple of travels in the fourth quarter, specifically that first one. I think after. Did you just want to talk us through this then?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I seen him on replays, and it's the move I've been making pretty much my whole career. And if that's the call that's going to be called travel, then I would like to see it across the whole board. Every game and it consistent like that. I mean, it's so funny because the very next play, Draymond gets into the lane and slides his foot, and it's not called, and the same official who called me for the travel is right there on the play and told me he didn't travel. So that's definitely, something that I got to be more, leery about, but I have not been called for travels like that in my career.
By Toyota, and of course, today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as you see from the Warriors team page there, honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And everybody in the NBA knows what this day means. A lot of these players have played on MLK Day. Mullen, you've been in the NBA, of course, Hall of Famer. Darrell, you've played on this holiday, and just what it means. And we were talking to Monty Poole earlier today about how much progress has been made over the last year, and would Dr. King be happy? But the fact that they are remembering who Dr. King was and what he stood and what he was all about is truly remarkable and good omen by the NBA.
100%. Just keeping the legacy alive and the things that he talked about and the things that he wanted to see as far as change and, sacrificing, by being the voice of the people. So it's just a beautiful thing to see everybody showing love still and still trying to get through to everybody that, hell, change is near. We need change, equality. So I love how everybody shows love around the league.
Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr.'s words were impeccable. His speeches were incredible, and his action was even more impactful.
Right.
And that legacy lives on, and lives on through all of us. It's up to us to do that each and every day. The NBA and the WNBA has done a tremendous job. I'm so proud of our players.
No doubt.
Listen to Steph Curry and LeBron James and Chris Paul, all these great players, and they've learned lessons from the people before them.
Right.
Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, and it's up to us to keep educating. And so many of his words ring true, but to me, the thing that is most important is judge a person's content of character. Not the color. Don't judge them by the color of their skin, and that's still a problem this day. So we do have work. Martin Luther King Jr. always put faith and hope first, but it's also a lot of work that still needs to be done.
Well said, gents. Well said about that. Let's talk about the game tonight. And James Wiseman, we talk about he's on a crash course here in college. I mean, he's going through Jokic. He's got AD, and he talked about studying AD a lot. Tonight may have been his worst game of his young career, and it's going to happen like that during this season. Of course, he's only 19 years old after 3 college games. We've heard that all season long, but 4 points, 3 rebounds, and he got into foul trouble, got really frustrated tonight with himself, Darrell.
It's definitely frustrating when you get into foul trouble. But hey, like Mully said before pregame, it's a lesson for him every single night. So it's always positive out of every game he goes out there. So he understands how to go out here the next game and not play without fouling. Knowing when to give up shots and when to, go for block shots. So every game is a lesson. Every game is something for him to learn from. So he'll learn from these mistakes. These charges right here. Trying to Euro too far away from the defender. So it's a learning process every time he gets on the court.
Yeah, every game's a learning lesson for him. But he's a great student. And, he's a wise man. But even through those clips, you saw an incredible dunk. You saw a nice face-up jumper. The talent's there. Tonight, you listen to players when they get into their middle of their careers, or a baseball player, you hear a hitter, he sees the ball in slow motion. Right. Things are still going a little fast for him. Right. And I think that's where he's picking up fouls, the charges. He's just going a little too fast for himself, and that's part of the learning process.
Yeah, no doubt. Next game against the Spurs, he gets LaMarcus Aldridge and Jacob Poeltl, DeLon's boy from Utah, Poeltl. So the test just keeps going on and on for James Wiseman, as you guys keep both saying. It's going to be a lesson for him all season long. Let's go around the NBA, though, because we have some good action today on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, especially in Brooklyn, New York. And that man, James Harden, All of a sudden, he lost all that weight, huh? Or was that just layers of vest or 3 different vests he was wearing in Houston? But you see James Harden here with the bucket down 1 there. James Harden with the runner. And, of course, in the final minute, Brooklyn down 1. Harden misses a 3, gets his own rebound, and then feeds Kevin Durant with the dagger. We've seen that before around these parts. And you see the final moments here. Chris Middleton, tough shot there. Doesn't go in. Brooklyn wins by 2 over the Bucks. And James Harden, man. Whew. Looking good in Brooklyn, New York, baby. Looking good, Bully.
The Flatbush Avenue full court press, baby. They got it going on.
Oh, man.
And KD and James Harden have already played together, right, in Oklahoma City. They're going to add Kyrie to the mix soon. I think they'll be the 2 teams in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets. It's going to be fascinating to watch. People forget James Harden played at Arizona State, played in the Princeton offense. When he played in OKC, he came off the bench, was a facilitator.